Laying out for you guys possible scenarios moving forward. We've gone over best case scenario for a Biden win, worst case scenario for a Biden win, best case scenario for a Trump win. Now it's time for worst case scenario for a Trump win. This is rough. So, first of all, he's emboldened. He just won re-election. Yet again, he thinks he's Teflon Don because he kind of is. He's very likely to continue to default to the path of least resistance, which is Larry Kudlow and Mike Pompeo. So expect more neoconservatism on foreign policy. Expect more cutting taxes for the wealthy and deregulation. I think those things are inevitable in a Trump second term. I also think we get some sort of actual conflict with Venezuela and Iran. He already killed Soleimani, which led to retaliatory strikes, and that was a tumultuous time to say the least, and it still is bad. But I think it goes further. I think they might actually pull the trigger on regime change or an attempted regime change in both Iran and Venezuela. They may have been behind that ragtag coup that happened not too long ago in Venezuela, or the attempted coup. But we will get worse. It will be worse. We will be more involved in these countries, even though Trump pretends like he's anti-war, every now and then. Beyond that, the pandemic is going to get way worse. It's going to get way, way worse. Because he's been waffling on masks nonstop. He'll continue to waffle on masks nonstop. They'll continue to just insist on opening everything up because they care more about the stock market than they care about people's lives. And I think it will continue to be massively, massively mismanaged. So that would be devastating. The only response from Trump and Congress is going to be bigger bailouts of corporate America as unemployment soars and as wages plummet. So to the extent they do anything economically, I think it would be maybe you get one more stimulus check, which is going to be peanuts, but it's very likely that they do more bailouts of corporate America, more quantitative easing, as it's called. Even the Fed will get involved and pump $1 trillion a day into the market like they did at the beginning of the COVID plummet. So this is what I think is going to happen. And there's a worst case scenario for a Trump win. And the Democrats are going to respond to Trump winning not by saying, whoa, well, now we learn our lesson and we're going to go to the left and we're going to be social democratic and we're going to embrace Bernie-style politics. No, they will do the exact opposite. This is why accelerationism is not true. Because it's the idea that it's got to get as bad as possible before it gets better. No, if it gets as bad as possible, you know what the Democrats are going to do? Compromise with bad and move even further right. So if Trump wins, they'll think, oh my God, we got to run further to the right. We got to run further to the right. We got to appeal even more to Republicans. Obviously, this is the path to winning. So the Democrats would respond to a Trump victory by moving even further right. And the media as well, under a Trump second term, forget it. Their brains are broken. You think they were conspiratorial in the first term with Russiagate? Russiagate's going to get pumped up with steroids and human growth hormone, and you're going to be like, whoa, what is going on? So I think that there will be the division in this country, the partisanship in this country. It's going to be at record highs in a situation like this. Because culturally, Democratic elites cannot digest, cannot understand, cannot wrap their mind around a Trump second term. And what would very likely happen is more of what's already happened, except worse. Which is why I say more tax cuts for the rich, more deregulation, more conflict with Iran and Venezuela. The pandemic's going to get worse. Bigger bailouts for corporate America. And the Democrats respond to all of it, not by going left and being principled, but by going further right. So if Trump wins, by the way, I think this is a lot more likely than the best case scenario that I laid out for a Trump win. I think this is much more likely. I think the worst case scenario for Biden and Trump, regardless of who wins, the worst case scenario, in my opinion, is more likely than the potential best case scenario that I laid out for you.